Warp Pipe Wednesday.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to Warp Pipe Wednesday. I'm Russ Lyman.
I'm NES addict.
What are we talking about this week?
Dude, sir, is there only one thing to talk about?
Well, there's a few things. I know you did a wardrobe change just so you can wear your Blink-182 shirt.
Heck, yes, I did. Dude, I've been so freaking stoked all day long. So many group chats with different friends of mine who are Blink-182 fans, and just sharing the new music with anybody I can think of who might enjoy it, as I know you do, Russ. But Blink's back one more time at least. So, what'd you think about the new song?
Well, it's a dual song. I got on Spotify, right? You get
Sure,
two tracks so you can listen to it. Definitely deep. I didn't get to watch the videos yet. I just heard the songs.
Okay.
But yeah, it's great to have Tom, Mark, and Travis, back creating stuff. And I thought they were going to do an EP, and I think it's like 17 songs.
Yeah, it's 17 songs, and I think only one's a joke song. So roughly
Nice.
16 full-length songs.
Yeah, and I saw the little interview thing you had sent me too, where they're kind of talking back and forth, and it's kind of interesting with the new song how they touch on almost all the tragedies that have struck the band. So
Yeah,
to say,
yeah,
and
and
kind of brought them together again.
they even I mean they get pretty down and deep because Mark says we were like screw Tom DeLonge. If he doesn't like Blink-182, screw him. We'll move on without him. And Tom's sitting there and he's like, don't look at me with those cameras.
True. Yeah. So yeah, I'm curious. They didn't play any of these songs when you saw them live, right? They just did
No.
Edging and that was it, or no?
Yeah, only Edging. So it really makes me wonder if they don't come back around next year and play this new album. I mean, that's a
Right.
lot of touring. I mean, because this last tour was huge. So, and that's one of the things that Tom usually gets hung up on is I was away from my family for too long. I can't be touring. So we'll see. I don't know. I
Especially
would,
even with Mark recovering, like that's a lot of toll on him and vocally and his body and everything.
yeah, exactly. Because he got over cancer, and so and Travis is about to have a new baby soon. So yeah, we'll just have to see how it goes. But if nothing else, October 20th, the new CD comes out, and I think it's gonna be the CD that I wanted Neighborhoods to be. Even though I do think Neighborhoods is a great album,
Yeah.
when you listen to it, there's like this untangible cohesiveness, lack of cohesiveness that you can't really put your finger on. But myself and Ron Man from Ron Man Gaming have discussed this numerous times, and I think it's just the fact that they weren't in the same studio together and they were sending tracks back and forth from LA to San Diego. So while it's I still think it's a really good album, and I think I appreciate it more now than I did when it first came out. I think this will be what I wished that was.
Hmm. Makes sense for sure.
This sounds
Yeah.
like Untitled Part 2 almost.
Right. And don't they have I believe they have a track, is it an Anthem 4?
3, yeah.
3 on my head.
Because Anthem 1 was Enema of the
Enema
State.
State.
Anthem 2, the very first track on Take Off Your Pants and Jacket. No anthem on Self-Titled or Neighborhoods or Dogs Eating Dogs. And now
Right.
Anthem 3.
Nice. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see for sure. I'm excited for it. Love me some new pop punk.
Yeah. And I think, it was always hard for me because Tom was my favorite member of the band.
With him, yeah, leaving. So then you're like,
I mean, I love
it's still
Alkaline
Blink.
Trio and
Mhm.
enjoy Matt Skiba too, but it just didn't feel right.
Now I'm curious of like, what are all those like? Did he played some of those songs live, right? When they from Nine and from California.
They played the only song I can remember them playing was Bored to Death from those
Okay,
two albums.
right, because it's that's interesting on Tom's behalf where he has to learn someone else's part for a
Well, I
band
think
he
the
was
reason
in.
they throw that in is because they're probably gained some young fans during those years
Mm.
that
Oh yeah,
didn't even know about the previous stuff maybe until they heard it and kind of dug into the deep backlog.
right. Which is a little bit easier nowadays since you'll find them on digital distribution, Spotify, iTunes, or whatever, where you could just, okay, let me, what else they got, and you just easily listen to it. Whereas growing up, it's like, well, I got to go to a CD store and buy their backlog.
Yeah, I did that with Smashing Pumpkins when I was
Mm.
pretty young, like 13, 14 years old. Like, I just kept going back. I was like, "All right, I got Siamese Dream, now I need, Gish or, whatever," so
Nice.
until I heard Blink, and then I was, done with Smashing Pumpkins.
I will say on the talk of new music, MXPX released their new album as well, Find a Way Home.
Yeah, I heard that song.
It was is out now, so I got the vinyl and I bought a CD as well. Um, so, but mostly, obviously, I listened to the vinyl once. I haven't opened the CD, but I mostly just listen to it on Spotify while I'm in my car.
Right.
But it's surprising. Like, it reminds me a lot of almost what the heck is it? Ever passing moment. You know, almost that like pop it more poppy. I guess like Enema of the State, like how it's just well put together. I don't know how
Yeah.
to freaking explain it.
Like,
More
maybe it was
polished,
just like,
mainstream, or
it was well produced.
right. But there's a lot of tracks on there where, you know, maybe they're a little bit harder.
Okay.
Someone said like, you know, it almost sounds like, what did they say? Um, the Ramones more, or so they have one of the tracks like that, similar to that. What's interesting though, speaking of the tracks, they have a instrumental track on the album.
Huh. Have they ever done that before?
Never. And I was like, that's so interesting. Like, why not put to it or whatever? But I was listening to the Mike Herrera podcast, and someone brought up that question there. You know, they're like, it's a great song. You know, why did you end up putting it on the track? And he was saying, you know, it kind of never, you know, they weren't like, oh, let's write an instrumental to put on the CD. But, you know, they were writing tons of music, and it kind of came down to the organizational of how the tracks land
Yeah.
on the album. And he was like, almost this instrumental acts as like a bridge from side A to side B,
Okay.
where it kind of builds that transition. And they can certainly do that live as well, play it live where maybe they want to put some other song in the set, and it's like, oh, this is kind of, you know, it's a little breather for them as well, and transitions to that next part.
I feel like track listings are so interesting, and maybe you as a musician, Russ, might understand that a bit better, but, like, how does one decide the order of the songs they place them? Is it just like a feel,
Absolutely.
or
Yeah, it's I mean, certainly how you want to the person you're listening to it, how you want them to feel. And like maybe when we were playing live, we had a different set list. You know, we always had like our opener. So then when we're putting our CD together, like, you know, we should probably open the CD with this track here.
right?
Funny enough, I was going back and listening to a lot of Senses Fail.
Oh, yeah, I used to listen to them.
And I was like, let me check out some other, you know, you know, maybe I didn't hear a lot of their other albums, so I went to a few of them, and one of them, like the opener track, was like a very slow, not in your face song, and then track two was like, bam, and I'm like, why did they use this as the opening track? Like,
Yeah.
I almost would have like put it in, but like, this CD sucks, like take it out, like, you know, you got to catch someone's attention and like, oh yeah, I want to listen to this more. So I'm like, the second track was way better on that.
I feel like AFI used to do that a lot, though. Like,
They would
Sing
do
the Sorrow I feel like Sing the Sorrow is such a great, like, list of songs, and the way they ordered those songs was so concise.
gotcha. Yeah, I'm hoping to upload. I still have some tracks from my old band Saturday Matinee. I wanted to upload to Spotify. We have like our last song that we recorded. It never went on an album or anything. So I like to put that onto Spotify so people could hear it. And then coming up soon in the coming months, I'll start promoting again. We do have a Christmas EP that has like 5 songs. We did
Nice.
an original song and then four covers. It's pretty fun.
Did you do the Blink one? I Won't Be Home for Christmas?
So we did cover that live, but I did not put it onto the CD itself.
It's a good one.
Yeah, and since then, like so many bands have put out great Christmas songs for
Newfound
sure.
Glory had a good Christmas song, too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, too soon to talk about Christmas. We got Halloween coming up.
That's right.
So yesterday, hey, I was super excited. So I thought we were doing the podcast yesterday. I came home,
Yeah,
I was all
sorry,
like
I
ready.
screwed Russ up again.
I'm like, I'm ready. And he's like, I thought we were doing this tomorrow.
Well, cause see, what happened was Russ texted me either the day before or earlier, and he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna be going somewhere, and you know, if we don't do it Wednesday, we can do it Thursday." So I just never heard from Russ, and so I just assumed he wasn't back yet. So I went ahead and got in bed. Plus, I had a headache, and so I sent Russ a picture of me from my bed, and the light blinded my eyes, and I did this.
It was dark.
It was
Um,
dark.
but but yeah, I ended up going to the city to see Back to the Future the musical on Broadway.
Oh, it's crazy. Was it good?
Yeah, it was freaking awesome. I heard about this probably over a year ago, but it was in London only at the time. So I was like, oh man, I hope it comes to the States. So finally, I heard, it's coming to Broadway. So I purchased tickets for me and my wife for our anniversaries coming up this week on the
Nice.
23rd. So I was like, well, we'll go, Wednesday for like a matinee. This way it's easier to get off from work and
Not a
all that.
Saturday matinee.
Oh, would have been good. So we got there about noon, and then we ended up going to Joe's Pizza, which was in the Spider-Man movie from
Oh,
Tobey
nice.
Maguire. I guess he got fired from that pizza place or whatever, but they
Oh,
have
that's
like a sign inside, as seen in Spider-Man."
that's amazing.
So we grabbed some slices, and then we headed over to the Broadway district there. And yeah, the show is awesome. I got like a little picture. You can't film or take any photos while the play is occurring, but before it starts, you can like do a little photo. Let's see. Did I take a full video? Well, I did like here's a still photo. If you guys are watching on YouTube, um there's all these like circuit boards and
Oh,
stuff
that's
on the
crazy
side of the
looking.
stage, and they all
Yeah,
like lit up and were like like
that's
making sound
sick.
effects. It kind of reminded me of Tron almost. And then
Yeah,
on the screen, it was like, no phones or this and that, but you could take pictures of this hashtag, whatever. But yeah, the way they did it was freaking awesome to be on the stage and having the DeLorean on there. And there's a bunch of new songs that they're singing just for
yeah.
the musical. And they did do, the classic hits. They did Power of Love, Johnny Be Good, and all that. They did tweak the story
Okay.
slightly, so it wasn't exactly how it happened in the movie. Like, when Marty goes to the mall to meet the Doc, the Libyans don't come to attack him. They had Doc put the plutonium into the DeLorean, and then he got radiation poisoning and was like dying. So
Oh
then
god.
Marty gets in the car and goes back in time. Um, but they also added this thing to the car where it was only voice activated by the doc, so he had to be like car on, time circuits on, so only he can use the car. So then Marty wasn't able to like drive it after that.
Interesting.
So they changed that plot point. There's a few different jokes that were different. But overall, I thought it went through really well. We laughed, we had a good time. At the end, they had the car. They did the whole scene where the doc comes back and then he's like, Marty, you gotta come with me back to the future. And they have the car like lift up off the stage and like go
Sick.
out over the crowd like slightly. And I
What?
was like, yo, I was like, this is so cool.
How'd they
Uh,
do that?
They had to be like a crane arm on like the back of the car, like
Okay.
like lifting it up and then pushing it out. But
Yeah.
because the stage is black and
You
everything, like
couldn't
you couldn't
see it.
see it. And I was
That's
like, that's
sick.
awesome.
Yeah.
So we had a good time. So I picked up we got a magnet and I got like a t-shirt. Um, but they had like a vinyl soundtrack of the original music and tons of merchandise for sure.
Oh wow.
But I was happy we got to see it. And then we ended up actually going back to Joe's pizza place and grabbing one more slice
One
before
more
heading home.
slice.
It's
One
like,
more.
gotta get that New York slice.
Why didn't you go to Sbarro's?
Sabaros.
You never watched The Office?
Yeah, oh, yeah, I don't know why is the
There
scene
was
of
a
the
there was an episode where, like, Michael goes to New York and he's like, "You gotta get, some real New York pizza," and he goes to Sbarro's.
It's like, "Nope, can't get that."
That's funny.
So that was a good time, and then, we have another trip planned. The wife kinda booked this last minute. Um, you guys will be listening to this podcast on that Wednesday, I mean, or maybe in the future or whatever, but I'm going this Sunday, we're flying out to Florida, and we're
Sweet.
doing, Halloween Horror Nights at Universal on Sunday night. Monday, we're just relaxing at the hotel, and then Tuesday is the Mickey Not So Scary at Magic Kingdom.
Sick. Wave as you fly over South Carolina.
Right. So I'm gonna end up filming as much as I can, and that's gonna be most of my Halloween special this year on YouTube.
There you go.
So I'll have showcase. Maybe we're going to some haunted houses, and we'll show like the scare zones at Universal, and then all the fun stuff at. We're gonna be trying. There's lots of like special treats at Disney at the Mickey Not So Scary. And I'm like, oh, I gotta try that. Lots of snacky snack
Like
time.
food?
Yeah, yep.
Oh,
That
sick.
that are only so like I don't know if you know how this works or whatever. Like I'll
I
break it
don't.
down, but so we bought these tickets. They are completely separate from like going to Magic Kingdom. So we can't go to Magic Kingdom until like 4 o'clock in the afternoon because the party starts at 6 o'clock. The Mickey's Not So Scary party is like a separate thing. Like you would have to buy tickets for. If you have a ticket for Magic Kingdom and you go there during the day, you actually get kicked out of the park by 6 o'clock because it's a different event.
Okay.
And so they'll have special characters come out for the event, special things like obviously Jack Skellington's going to be there and all that, but they
Ooh,
have like Stitch from Lilo and Stitch is dressed like Elvis, so you can like meet him and
that's
take
funny.
pictures. But certain snack shops have like different things, so they have like there was like these uh what the heck vanilla fingers that look like zombie fingers, and they put almonds as like the fingertips
Oh,
on there.
nice.
So there's all like cool desserts like that. Me and Steph watched some Disney Channel thing on YouTube, so we made notes of like the desserts we want to try. So I was like,
Gotcha.
okay, we'll check that. They're like, obviously everyone wants to go to Haunted Mansion, but they're like, the wait time is going to be almost like 2 hours or something
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
So they're like, don't do that. But one thing they do is when you go into the event, they give you a bag, and then there are stations where you get candy, and the candy's free, and you can go as many times as you want,
That's
filling up
sick.
your bag. So people, I guess, get back to the hotel room. It's just like their whole bed's like filled with candy.
Like, gorged on candy.
Right. It's like, well, hopefully you're maybe taking it home and giving it out to kids or something
There you go.
for Halloween. Save some money that way.
That's right. There you go.
But
Smart
we're
thinking.
excited for that. And they said you could dress up as well.
Okay.
And my friends actually were there this weekend, and he had this awesome um Mad Hatter costume, and his wife was dressed as Alice, and it looked great. So we were at Walmart today, and I saw they had these pajamas that were like skeleton,
Okay.
and I was like, I think I'll just wear those because when we were in New York, I bought a hat kind of like this, like a 5 panel hat,
Yeah.
but instead of the NES Pursuit,
Yeah.
it has Jack Skeleton's like face on there.
Okay, there
So I
you
was
go.
like, oh, I could wear that and the skeleton outfit, and I'll be
And you'll
like
be
dressed up.
Jack.
Yeah, I was like, close enough. So yeah, we
That's
got a lot of stuff going on, and then again, I said our anniversary's coming up. Is this coming Saturday, the 23rd, and my friends are also getting married on that day.
that's crazy.
So we're going to their wedding, and
And saying,
cri-
"Thanks for stealing our anniversary, you jerks."
right when they sent the save the date, I was like, what? I was like, are you kidding me? This is our date. But so they did a stag party a few weeks back. I might have talked on the show about it, but they had um two bands play because the groom plays guitar, and he was in a few bands, and I got to go on stage and sing "Damn It" with them. But I put a video together. I edited a video of the whole event, and I had my friend Kevin, who's a graphic designer. do a little cover here. So for a present for the bride and groom, I made this here. So I had to make it like it's a Warp Tour
That's
DVD.
amazing.
So it has uh both of their pictures on there. That's him and his wife, and then it has
Wow,
the two bands with the track listing and everything. So
that's
I was
sick.
like, I'm gonna make a this one's for them, and then I gotta make 6 more for the other band members.
That's
But
so
I
cool,
thought that'd be
Russ.
pretty fun.
So thoughtful. Look at you.
Yeah. This way they can always remember it.
Are you
But
kidding me? Here we go.
oh, Jay left. He made it 20 minutes in without the camera breaking.
I don't. Oh, wait. I came back and then I turned it off like an idiot. I'll be back.
He'll be back.
Just give me a second. Um, Shoot. I was gonna say something, and then the stupid camera threw off my train of thought.
I don't know.
Oh, I was gonna say. Yeah, that reminded me. I've considered starting a new YouTube channel
Okay.
and um and just covering Blink 182 stuff and
Oh yeah.
maybe like music.
Yeah, for sure. What's funny is one of my buddies early days of YouTube, Arcade Regiment is the channel name. His name was Phil. And we did collaborations here and there. And he actually had the show. It was called Pass or Play, and you review a game in 60 seconds or less, and whether you pass on it or play it. And I was a guest on that. And then I asked him if I could take over the series. So if you guys ever seen Pass or Play on the Russ Lyman channel or Bit by Bit channel or what have you, that's where that came from. But he did a full 360 instead of doing video game stuff. He just did all hockey stuff,
Oh, nice.
and his channel like grew pretty big, like doing the hockey stuff. But it was funny because the channel name stayed the same. Arcade Regiment covers hockey stuff,
That's so funny.
and
I'm gonna
I
have
was
to
like,
look him up
okay,
then.
yeah, I'll have to send you a link. Like, I don't know if he's still doing hockey stuff, but and I could have sworn he was from Canada too. So I was like, hey, sometimes that works. I'm over here, running 4 channels.
Yeah.
See what I could do. I do have to upload on 8-Bit Bliss. I haven't uploaded on there. That's my music channel where I do like long bits of music. Someone had left a comment I'll have to respond to, but I have done videos that are like 10 hours long where it's like a black screen and just like, Donkey Kong Country aquatic music for 10 hours with waves, or
Right.
Animal Crossing 10 hours with waves. And he was like, it would be helpful if there were no commercials or ads because it's a
Oh,
10. And I'm like, I don't even know why it's coming up because that channel's not monetized at all. So YouTube's just pushing it in. Like, I'm not getting paid at all for it. So I'm like, I don't know what's going on. But
right.
if I was monetized, I would put no ads on those videos because it's like those are for people trying to sleep. Maybe what do you want an ad coming in 2 hours into the movie or into the song?
That's true.
So I'm like, I don't know.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Not
I will
me.
say, I want to give a quick shout out to all our Patreon members who support me on Patreon. Um, this show does cost some money to keep going on here, so Patreon top tier supporters. Thank you so much, guys. We got Dan and Nicole's Treasures Untold, Joe Sheevy, Trace Living Good, Samantha Chang, Rodney Torres, and Retroholics 16 for all the support on this channel and on Russ Lyman and live streams and everything. Much appreciate you guys.
You
Jay's
rock.
back. You can call into the show too if you want to leave a voicemail. Our phone number is 949-682-9277. That's 949-682-WARP.
Call now.
Call now. Pause the podcast. Give us a message. If you can't remember the number, you can remember theweeklywarpipe.com. It's got all the number on there and all our episodes and merch. If you want to support this show that way, we got mugs, t-shirts, I think hats, stickers, magnets, pretty much
Yep.
everything. I got it all.
Underwear.
Underwear. Whatever you
Deodorant.
want, let me know. We'll make it. Think that wraps it up for this. If you want to catch more episodes, every Saturday we do the the weekly Warp Pipe, so you can check that out or come back every Wednesday for Warp Pipe Wednesdays.
That's right.
As always, guys, I'm Russ Lyman. Keep your world fun bit by bit.